You already have a powerful message inside you. The problem isn't that it doesn't exist. It's that you don't know how to say it in a way that sticks, spreads, and then books stages. I mean, truthfully, all of us have like a very beautiful message inside. And I know you have one too. It's pulled from your life stories, your experiences. But if you don't know how to put that together to get it out into the world, to make it stick to people's heads and hearts and their ribs, you won't have the impact you think you can. Honestly, you should, in fact, at some point have. So every speaker I found starts with an idea, a story, or a life lesson. Like there's something tucked inside, but most get stuck trying to translate that into a message that lands. They go, how can I make this story work? And what they end up doing is struggling to actually have it land in some way because it's not communicated in a clear way, right? That's the one piece is you may have a good message, but if I don't understand it, if you can't get it from your brain through your vocal cords into my ears so it lands and hits, then at the end of the day, we're just sitting here talking it. And there may be some I can pull from it, but not enough to sell, right? The truth is your message isn't missing. It just needs to be shaped into a clear, repeatable, and marketable format. And I genuinely mean marketable and repeatable. Think about it this way. If something's very complicated, it's hard to understand. If it's hard to understand, it's hard to remember. If I can't remember it, I can't tell it to somebody else. And if I can't tell it to somebody else, that means that I can't spread the message. But even more so, I don't know really what it is or the value. Right? When you understand something, you can explain it quickly and clearly. When you don't understand it, you're kind of hoping to land it at some point in time. And so if you have a message that takes you having to tell a story to make it make sense and be valuable, you're not going to have success. I'm not going to butter it up and tell you can find a way into it. You're going to have to really know somebody to have them give you the time to truly explain something, which is a rarity in our world. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to uncover your core message and package it so that audiences and event planners immediately get it. Now, am I going to perfectly do it for you? I'm going to do the best I can. Let's be honest. This takes time usually with my clients to unpack all these different stories of experience and moments they've gone through to find a piece of language that is not only beneficial to an individual separate, but also it lands in a way that is unique to only you. So we're going to cover this in a few steps. Now, the first thing is your message is hidden in your story. It's the first part of a few we're going to go through. The first point or topic is going to be that your story holds your message, right? If I think about for me, when I look at my brand of dark work, which you see in this microphone here, this was a message tucked inside a story. I used to talk about how when I was 14 years old, I played football for the first time, wasn't very good at the game, and I found that I didn't have the skills developed because I hadn't played. Like all my different teammates had been playing since they were 5, 6, 7 years old. So I'm here at 14 years old for the first time trying it out, and I'm not very good at this game. I can't catch a football. The shoulder pads don't fit right. This helmet's all wonky on my head. My cleats aren't laced up properly. I don't know what I'm doing. But then I went through this journey where my second year, which was my first year of high school, I played football again, and I got a little bit better, but not as good as I needed to be to feel confident out there. And so I'd go out and run routes, and I wouldn't catch the balls. I'd drop them. I'd miss tackles. I didn't know what I was doing. I was probably a little bit scared, to be honest, too. But then I went through this journey in the off season where I'd done like this preparation every day. I would throw a football in the air 500 times a day. I'd catch routes with a buddy of mine, Joey Garcia. I would go and lift weights. I would do different sprint speed drills to get faster. I was doing the best I could little by little. And what happened was I was doing this behind the scenes. I wasn't celebrated. I wasn't cheered on. It was what I call dark work. And it wasn't originally called dark work. What it was just me doing this stuff, but I had a mentality that later on showed up. And this is what I used to tell people on stage. I've done too much work in the dark for you to take what's mine in the light. That language has since morphed into I've done too much work in the dark to lose in the light. But here's the thing. When it came down to it, I didn't really have anything around that. But a team member of mine said, what's this thing you're talking about, this work in the dark? And I go, I don't know, dark work. They go, dark work? What's that? And I go, it's like the work you do in the dark that makes you successful. They go, we should talk about this, see if we can expand it out, like test this with the marketplace, see what the market says. And I go, okay. And so I went out and I have a story that comes to fruition that has a message inside of it about dark work, which is now the work in the dark so I can win in the light, right? You have to start by identifying pivotal moments in your life, where the failures you had, the transformations, the breakthroughs. That was a breakthrough of mine. At a moment in time where I broke through and I had this confidence from the reps I did when no one watched. So when you were watching, I wasn't about to fail. I was going to succeed come hell or high water. And that is something that became a beneficial, not just thing for me, but also the world outside of me. And not even just in sports, but in everything, the corporate realm, the parenting realm, my health realm, everything you can imagine is tied to something that we do in the dark that lets us win and be successful when the lights are on us, right? And it's the best way to find a message. So you have to ask yourself, in your life, what did you learn that others need to know? What story of your life provides a message to you that you know is like this interesting lesson that nobody else has? Is it lived experience? Is it, something you saw? Because that lived experience, it already holds the seed of your message. It already is there. It just needs to be uncovered. And most folks go through an entire lifetime not knowing what that is. But if you're able to peek behind the curtain, we'll call it, and really look differently at your current story, you'll find that message already exists. And if you can't do this, you got to find somebody who can. We do this as a company. Actually, I personally do this for almost 600 plus people now. And I've loved doing it to unpack and see a piece of language that you didn't know was there, but that's where the message is held, right? So the first things first is you have to have a message and realize that message is hidden inside your story. Now, step two is, hey, I hope you're enjoying this video right now. Now, I want to let you know I have a training coming up. And in this training, I unpack my entire speaking business system. It's called the Speak to Freedom Formula. Now, in this system, I unpack what's literally taken me from $0 to 7 figures a year in my speaking business. And it's something that you can actually do for yourself. So all you have to do to get access to this is you can click the link that's in the description below and it'll take you there, or wait till the end of the video, check it all out and get over there. But no matter what you do, don't miss that. All right, that's it. Let's get back to the video. Define the audience's problem first, right? Once you have this message, the idea is to go, all right, I now have a message, but just because it exists doesn't mean it's going to be beneficial for somebody. What I mean by that is you have to be able to use wordplay properly, use your words properly to connect dots, to create connective tissue between what you do and somebody else's need. So for example, if I go, someone needs to make more money in their business, great, I can talk about how dark work's the way to get there, because all of us know you don't make money overnight, which means you have to do a lot of work behind the scenes to learn, to invest, to develop skill sets, to make money, to spend money in different places the right way, to return it properly. There's ways to do things that no one's going to see, but they'll see what you wear. They'll see the house you live in. They'll see the freedom that you have from the money you've made. And right, so I can connect that to making money. If I want to say, hey, dark work to, I don't know, be a better parent. What are the things you do with your kids that nobody sees? What do you keep off of social media? What are the hard conversations you have? What are the sacrifices that you make in the dark so you can look, or people can look at you and your family as being connected in the light? You see what I'm saying? So you have to find the audience's problem first and then go, my message connects in this manner. And it may not be for everybody. Some messages only have a specific demographic or a few demographics that'll hit. And beyond that, there won't be much benefit. But you will find that at the end of the day, there's going to be an audience problem and you can solve it. Now, a message is only powerful if it solves something, which is a big piece here. If the audience can't get a solution from what you're experiencing or your experience has been, they don't have anything, right? So you have to move from what I want to say to what they need to hear. It's a different thing, right? I need to make sure the language I'm talking, they're using as I talk is beneficial to them. So you have to filter your story through their pain points, their desired outcomes, what they're battling, what'll be a solution for them. See, not many people think of it this way. They think that I'm just going to tell my story and have it go out there. The world's going to love it. It'll be amazing, right? Yes and no, right? The world might love it, but you pretty much have to hope that what you say lands perfectly with this audience because everybody has something different they need. But if you know how to frame the language and spin the words up properly, it'll work amazingly. So you have to make sure you pull it from your story, but you have to put it in a position where it's valuable to them. Now, number 3, you have to use the $1 million message formula. Now, for me, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but I'm going to give you a simple way right now of at least how to communicate that. And this is one you might have heard before, but the language needs to be put into a framework where it sounds like this. I help the audience, whatever the audience is, do something so they can have a result. Right. So here's an example. I help entrepreneurs beat burnout so they can grow their business without losing their life. Right. It's just a piece of language. But the idea is when you have a message, you want to first lead with the piece of message that have a follow-up line that solidifies that $1 million message. So what I would do is go dark work in the dark to win the light. I help teams, individuals optimize their identities so they can operate at peak performance levels. Like this would be our language. And so the idea is when you have something in place that's valuable and unique and rare to somebody, well, now we have something that can actually go out and get bookings and close deals and different things. And most folks don't do this. Most folks aren't paying attention this deep, right? And the reason that they don't is because, one, they don't know about it, and two, they don't know how to do it. But once you learn that this is the way you have to communicate, you'll start bypassing the stuff that wastes time and is losing you gigs. You don't realize it yet, but when you say I'm a speaker and somebody goes, well, what do you speak about? And you rattle off your story, well, no one knows what to do with that. It's just information about your life. It's got very implied benefit. But if you clearly state what your message is, there's an explicit benefit. It's right there. It's tangible. You've made it clear. And you can walk down these steps of infusing more and more value. And then eventually someone goes, where did this all come from? That's essentially saying, tell me your story that solidifies this. Well, now you can enter and infuse your story in. But if you reverse those, you go story first, no one's going to listen to you enough to even hear your message, right? So you've got to make sure you're framing it properly to where the message leads and you're looking at solving their problem, not trying to get more information out of yourself into their ears, right? Number 4, you must test and refine in real life, meaning what you have as language is never going to be perfect. I've been using dark work for years now, and I still, every once in a while, get someone goes, I don't know what it means. Now, I've got it refined. I've got it dark work. It's the work you do in the dark that allows you to win in the light, right? It's pretty clear, in my opinion, for a lot of folks, but some people go, I don't get it, right? Because again, it's just some people don't get it, and that's okay. My job is to refine it. I have to actually go down steps to make it make sense. And if I don't do that, I'm hindering my ability to get this clear for them and be valuable, but also I'm helping because now I'm going to have another piece of language I can use in the future when someone doesn't get it. So the idea is you have to refine, right? Share pieces of your message online, in small groups, or even on live videos as you're teaching, and then pay attention to what resonates. What gets responses? What gets replies? What do people repeat or ask about, right? Because I'll give speeches and talk about things, and I love when someone comes up afterward and says, dark work, I see it, because it's tied to my brand. And so that means that when I was on stage, I landed that piece of language properly. Without that piece of language, I'm just hoping the thing I say works, right? And I got to make sure that I'm spending time listening to them and knowing what they like, because that's the thing that's going to probably work for more than just that room. But I have to put it out there and test and tweak in real time. And then all of a sudden, now I have something beautiful. But it's not all of a sudden. It's not this random thing, right? It's because I planned it properly. Now, point 5, anchor your identity to your message. Now, this is a big thing here. The message isn't just something you say. It really is who you are. It's the core of your persona. I believe that there's something you do so smooth and so consistent that you fail to comprehend you're doing anymore. It's like this thing that's just like it happens, it just goes out of you, but you're not even paying attention to it. The way you communicate, maybe your charisma, your joy, the way you think or process something, these little unique pieces are unique to you, but they're not common to everybody else. So you have to speak it often. Weave it into your content. Let it define your positioning. When people think of you, they should think of your message because they think of you as a human, and it's tied to your message. Now, for me, dark work, if you saw or around me enough, you'd know that the things that I do and how I function, I do a lot in a little bit of time, which is not normal for most people to see what I can create, how I can create it, and how I'm still a present father, and I have a great marriage, and I still can stay in shape and get my steps and eat my food and get my workouts. There's a lot going on, but why is it possible? I live and breathe dark work. It's not an accident. Every person that you know that has something that they believe in, they share with the world from a confident position, they live that. Now, you will, obviously, this isn't a 10 to 10 ratio or 100% ratio. You're going to find some people that are incongruent, because that's just the nature. Some people are, I don't know, shysters and scammers. They find ways to monetize something that the world seems to like, but they know it's not who they are behind the scenes, and that's okay. That's not the norm, though. Do not be, we'll call it bamboozled into thinking that everybody's bad. Not everybody is bad. I know phenomenal people who live thoroughly their message without transgression, without issue. It's who they are. But that's the best people to follow. Those are them. Because now what happens is the thing that they're doing, if they've codified it, if they spent time understanding why they do it that way and why they're successful in that manner, those are the best people to learn from, because they can tell you how they got there, why they do it, but even more so, how to eventually do it without stress. How do they get to the point of making those videos or creating that content, right? Or speaking to those people or thinking the way they do without stress or friction? When you can learn that secret and apply it to your life, that's when you win, and win long term. And you'll find that it's not just something that they do, it's who they are. It's their identity. It's the traits buckled down to the base of who they are as a persona. And now it just happens on repeat, rhythmic. It's like second nature. Like I say, success becomes second nature. They just do things without thinking about it. It's who they are at an identity level. So look, the truth is, a recap, you already had the message. It's there inside of you. It just needs a voice. It needs to be figured out. If you want help uncovering and packaging your message to get on more stages, to make amazing impact, but also make income doing it, go to speaktofreedom.com. You'll see all the things that my company does to help you not just get great on stage, but get great at getting on a stage. Because once you have the ability to frame these messages up and present them properly, you draw attention to you, but the best kind of attention, the attention that you know somebody is seeking and desiring what you actually have to give. And because it's natural for you to do it, it's an easy thing to talk about. You can flow smooth from it. You have no issues. People can question you, can give answers. You actually have this oozing out of confidence, and it flows in a way that allows you to continuously build momentum on top of the message that you've built. And at the same time, it changes lives, which is one of the most beautiful things you get to do just by sharing a part of your life and your story with the world. So that's it. Go to speaktofreedom.com. If not, I'll see you in the next video.